1 in 5 runners that sign up for a marathon don't cross the finish line. That includes those who signed up and don't even make the starting line, and those that get injured on the race itself. And it's not because they didn't train hard, it's because their body gave up before their mind did. In this video, I'm going to show you the 3 biggest mistakes that I see runners make so that you can get to the finish line in your next race. Almost every marathon training plan you're going to find on the interwebs is going to tell you the most important thing is to build mileage. But if you don't have a strategy to build your body's capacity to tolerate that mileage, then you're going to build mileage on top of dysfunction. And this is why 80% of running injuries are overload injuries rather than accidents. Things like runner's knee, Achilles tendinopathies, stress fractures, these sorts of things are the result of not building your body's capacity to withstand those miles that you want to put on it. So before you start adding too much volume, make sure that you have a strategy to build tissue tolerance. With my athletes, I'm a massive fan of using things like isometrics, which is where we're bringing tension into certain positions. Most of us are aware, despite the fact that a lot of runners don't tend to do it, that strength training is an important part of making sure you're resilient, as well as mobility and flexibility training. But the great thing about isometrics is we can get all this bang for buck, we can get stronger in a position, we can improve our range of motion, without cutting into our running training or our ability to back up our running training too much. They're not things that are too strenuous, so you're not going to be able to train on those same days. So coming into positions where we can overload the muscle, but more importantly, coming into an isometric position is also going to overload the tendon. And a lot of the injuries we see are tendon-based injuries, and this is a great way to do that as well as get strong in the area. Most runners think that a good gait analysis is going to fix their form, and I've been coaching running form for many years with people who are world champions to people who just want to run their first 5K, and across the board with all of these people, if your body cannot naturally access these things that are required for good running motion, then you're not going to be able to do it well or efficiently. I can certainly cue people into things, on the get-go, but once I get them a few miles on the treadmill or out on the road, they soon lose these things. Or worse, they're going to find strain and stress in other parts of the body in order to find these things that they think are ideal running form. What stops us from finding good running form is our body either protecting ourselves from injuring something, or it knows we're not efficient in a certain movement. So in order to get good running form, we need to figure out what movements are we not capable of with efficiency and ease. So again, we can find, maybe where there might be some tissue limitations, and again, use some isometrics and things like that to access them, but then following up with drills that allow our brain to understand how to use these ranges of motion and how to use strength in certain positions. As we understand this, we can put this into bigger and bigger movements, and that's how we find good running form. Foam rollers, massage guns, ice baths, these sorts of things are all the rage at the moment, but you can't out-recover what your body doesn't have the capacity to handle. These sort of tools don't make you hard to hurt. They're just masking the fact that you don't have the capacity to handle what you're trying to put on your body at the moment. For example, if I gave you something like a 1 kilo dumbbell and told you to do 10 reps of that, you'd probably pull up pretty good the next day. If I gave you a 20 kilo dumbbell and asked you to do 4 sets of 10 reps, you'd probably be sore. And that's because your body hasn't built up the capacity to handle that 20 kilo dumbbell yet. It's the same with anything that we're trying to put into our body. If what we're doing exceeds our capacity, we pull up sore, and if it gets too high, we pull up injured. So the key here is not chasing recovery tools, it's chasing strategies that allow you to increase your capacity so you recover better. Again, I'm a big fan of them. Isometrics work for all of these things. And this isn't the only thing that I'm doing with my athletes, but it's the biggest bang for buck. And in my Stretch Yourself Strong system, we progress isometrics across 4 phases. So we're doing things like in-range isometrics, isometrics through full range at different points. We're doing eccentric quasi-isometrics, which is a fancy name for holding things under fatigue, and explosive isometrics, which is important for giving us power and performance through our full range of motion. We can get a lot just out of these strategies without having to patch together strategies around, all right, I need to get flexible here, my mobility needs to be better here, I need to get stronger here. There's a lot we can do with just a few simple strategies to improve our performance, our strength, and our resilience. So if you're training for a marathon at the moment, remember, you don't just need more miles, you need to make sure you can build up that capacity of your body to handle those miles. So if you're training for a marathon, or you're trying to rebuild from one that you didn't quite make, remember, your body doesn't just need more miles, you need to make sure that your body can handle those miles. If you want to check out any of my programs, such as my finish line protocol, please check some of the links around here, or watch this video for some more ideas.